to a man's patience, and everyone knows that God, Christ, heaven, everyone knows that what we're asking is not $1 million.
The inner city,
What we're asking
I say
for is humanity.
to the African American people that have to suffer in these inner cities, what do you have to lose? I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it.
They shot him! They shot him! Oh my God!
Life would be so crazy. As a child, my eyes would see so much inequality. I never knew life would be so crazy. Where is the love that used to be? All life matters is nothing.
Hey, Rich City youngins is coming and interrupting all. We got heads shaking already, we just getting warm.
Them hub stars that can sing is you bound to know me. Y'all gon' pay listens with your favorites like you switch emojis.
I may not be the one to change the world, but I'll be the one to spark the minds of boys and girls from love.
Little ones that's underserved and live in poverty. I wanna change their nightmares into beautiful dreams.
We are the Martin Luther Kings and Michelle Obamas. But yeah, let's talk about the future. Corey and Kamala.
Our next quota should quote us and simply stay focused. We can change the world if you let us. Hope you get to notice.
Life would be so crazy. As a child, my eyes would see so much inequality. I never knew life would be so crazy. Where is the love that used to be? All life matters is nothing. So many tears are falling from my eyes. And I don't want to see no more my baby die. Who do we call to protect us from it all? Do we shop up or do we fight? Or do we march on for it? So many tears are falling from my eyes. And I don't want to see no more my baby die. Who do we call to protect us from it all? Do we shop up or do we fight? Or do we march for it?
They say the children are the future, only if they don't shoot ya. My family's being killed for real, don't wanna lose ya. Get made who we are, nor should we even try to. But we've been blessed for the cuts, and we've been lied to. Laws being made to keep us slave to your system. We resist, but the wisdom historically is meant to prison. So what's a man to do when it's back against the wall? I tell my children, if you really stand up and stand tall for Trayvon, Sandra, Amy, for sure. So you can make a difference, so we banging at your door. When you learn to love yourself, it is the greatest love of all. You're the leader of a free heart, and your focus on the wall. It's not a game, it's a chain. The wall is steady high, and that's the role model I needed when I was younger. I would die for us, for injustice for one, and for injustice for all. 45 would be the reason why America will fall.
Life would be so crazy. As a child, my eyes would see so much inequality. I never knew life would be so crazy. Where is the love that used to be? All that matters is nothing.
You and me.
Should we strap up? Should we fight? Should we march on? 45. Should we strap up? Should we fight? Should we march on? 45. Should we strap up? Should we fight? Should we march on? 45. Should we strap up? Should we fight? Should we march on? 45.
45. Oh yeah. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Fight, strap, and march. Woo. Fight, strap, and march. Woo. Fight, strap, and march. Woo. It's up to you. What you do, just do it right. Woo.
Oh, it's so it's amazing. I could watch that a million times through. That is a beautiful music video. So thank you for joining us today. I do have a few questions for you, but before we get started, I'm going to introduce myself real quickly, and then I'll have you introduce yourself as well. So my name is Bree, pronouns she, her, hers, and I'm a creative partner for Black Haven, and we're so excited to have you here today and talk about your art. So please do tell us your name, your pronouns, and just a little bit about yourself.
Great. Yeah, no, it's definitely an honor to be here speaking with you guys. My name is Kalani Jimenez-Mackson, full name, but I also go by Afro-Lumbian. That's pretty much like my artist alias, you know, and been doing film, been a filmmaker seriously probably for like 5 years now, but have been a student of the craft for like eight to 10 years.
Awesome. I love to hear it. We love to hear it. So please tell us a little bit about this work. And it was, oh my God, it was beautiful. The music, the editing, just the production value of this was amazing. First of all, I just want to continue on that. And yeah, tell us a little bit about the origins of this project, how it began.
So the origin came from a local artist here in Jersey. His name is Altariq Best. He works with this organization called The Hub, which stands for Help Us Become Better. And their whole objective is to really heal the community, or the heal the community of Newark and its trauma through arts therapy and education. And he's been at this for years now. I don't know the exact number, but it's been a long time. He's, you know, from Newark, so his whole goal is to really help the community out there. And so he wrote this song and presented it to me. And you know, really, it's about the presidency and his sort of unhappiness with it. You know, with 45, or AKA Donald Trump, and you know, he brought it to me and was like, you know, we really need to bring a visual to this story so that people can see, you know, and feel how I'm feeling, and you know, what's really going on right now. And I thought it was a beautiful song, and that's kind of where it all started.
It was extremely beautiful, and it had so many layers to it, especially being done during quarantine. I mean, the masks, like, we'll look back on this and say that we lived through that. We lived through a pandemic, and
Yeah.
youth, just so many layers to this. One question I have for you, which diverts a little bit from the questions I was going to ask you earlier, but the youth in this video, they had to be so mature to be able to act out those scenes with the shooting and the memorial. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, no, those are really hard scenes to kind of pull off. I think so. Forgive me right now. The main kid in it, his name is Elijah, and he had the big hair, the afro, and so him and his brother. They're actually brothers, and so he's had a little bit of acting experience, but also being from Newark and you know, being around things like that are happening, you know, in the complex that the Hub is in. Somebody was actually shot and killed in the very location where we shot that same scene. So it was a very like real situation that we were reenacting, and he was just really pulling off of that incident that happened there, I think 2 years prior to us even shooting that. So we try to just be as honest as we could to what he knew, to his experience, and that's kind of like the direction that I gave to him. But he did an amazing job. Yeah, and even in the protest scene, it was very like not difficult, but it was yeah, I mean, it's been going on, you know, like everyone's been out on the streets, everyone's been kind of protesting, at least those that were there. So they had that to kind of pull from, to to kind of make this feel like it was real. And in a way it was. We really had a small rally and a small protest there. We had some local activists and community leaders who came and really led that and sort of gave this mock protest.
And oh my God, kudos to the youth and the other multi-generational people in that video. It was so real and so authentic. So thank you for that. And a pat on the back for them. That was wonderful. And just relating to this idea that what the actors were quote unquote acting out in the video, this is real life. And just putting that back in. As a Black creator, a lot of the times our art reflects reality. So I'm wondering, what inspires you as a Black artist, as a Black creator?
Oh man, it's a lot of different things. It's definitely evolved, I guess, over the length of time that I've been doing this. Right now, it really just stems from everything that's going on and trying to find the truth in it for myself, really, and sharing the truth that I'm discovering with everybody else. You know, like in a way, I have been semi-aware of everything that's been going on. But after, you know, George Floyd, it was really like an eye opener for myself, and it feels like for a lot of other people. And, you know, I've been out trying to document as much as I can in an effort to find my own truth in it. And I think currently it's just that's really my drive, is just like this search for the truth in what's happening on the streets, because you get, you know, the story from the media, you get the story from, you know, word of mouth. And then, you know, what I'm really trying to get is my own firsthand perspective. And yeah, that's really the core of it for me right now, at least.
Right. And with that idea of, you know, creating things that are happening in the now, mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that is going on to the Black population is not pleasant. It's triggering, it's hard, it's traumatic. But how do you uplift yourself in those times? How do you uplift yourself in theater and film when you are constantly, there's just so much going on in the world, especially with Black folks right now. So how do you uplift yourself in these times?
It's tough, honestly. Family is a big role for me. My family means a lot to me, and I definitely call them when I'm not feeling, you know, at the most high. And there's also, for example, like being on this production was a huge, you know, lifter, because I felt, you know, connected to all of these people here in this moment. We're all trying to tell this story, and we all sort of share this vision. So that was a huge way to lift myself, my spirits, and to really exude this this pain that I've been feeling, and to further like dig into these answers that I'm trying to find.
And in terms of your exposure to film and media, how has it impacted your journey as an artist? So maybe things that you've seen when you were younger, as compared to now, or even Black actors, Black directors, creators, how has it impacted you in your journey so far artistically? So
I'm sorry, ask that question one more time for me.
Yeah, so how has representation in the film and the media, how has it impacted your journey as an artist?
Oh yeah, representation has actually played a pretty big role in encouraging me to like continue this. And you know, I call myself like a cinematographer. That's kind of like the path that I'm trying to follow. So early on, I started in photography and was just like studying image, how to like, you know, get the proper images that I was looking for. And, you know, prior to really seeing any people of color in the industry, any, you know, people behind the camera, it was always, you know, like white cinematographers. Like those are the ones that you really see out there who are put in the spotlight, which is fine. It's people like who look up to and who have great work. But seeing someone come from like a similar background as you doing beautiful work is an amazing thing. So when I like first discovered like Bradford Young, for example, he's a huge cinematographer and shoots amazing work. That was like like the first time I had seen a cinematographer who was Black and shooting, these huge movies, but doing it in such a sensitive way with such an amazing philosophy about the process of filmmaking and about the process of cinematography. And that for me was like a huge thing. That representation is everything.
It makes such an impact on the work, the quality. It's necessary to see people that look like us in the media, for sure. So on this artistic journey as a Black creative, if you could say something to an institution that historically centers whiteness and art and is now seeking to uplift specifically Black art, what would you say in order to perhaps guide that institution?
I think a lot of ways this industry can be very manipulative in its storytelling, and also has a history of like kind of stealing certain stories. My advice to it is just continue to search for this truth that that like I was saying earlier, the search for truth is really key in being as honest as possible. And when people come to you with these particular stories that are their own, try to remain sensitive to it and understand that everyone has their own experiences, and these stories are important.
100% agree. So with that idea, what do you hope to see in the future of the arts?
Oh man. The future of the arts. I have such an interesting idea, like feeling about art itself. Like you were saying, I think like it's a huge like reflection of like society. I think art is just like our way of just like trying to tell and relate our own experiences and understanding of the world. So like this statement is really like also larger, like a societal statement. I hope that one day like art as life is something that is a movement of like love. I'm a huge believer that like love is like a huge cure for a lot of things. I think people need to be more sensitive to each other's experiences. And, I may not understand like certain things that you have been through, but like the love that I have should be able to like hear what you're saying and be like, all right, maybe this is not something I agree with, but like this is something that, they're going through or this person's going through. So just more inclusiveness and just understanding across the board to raise our vibration overall as a society. That's like really what I would love to see. Just like us going from here, like this level of sort of hatred, racism, and just healing those things and bringing us up here to like a state of like love and upliftment. That's really what I want to see.
You and me too, because at this point, it's a mess right now and we need to do some loving, a lot of work together.
Yeah.
So I agree. And in terms of your own creative development, what are your dreams specifically for yourself? Like, what would you like to see your work grow into?
Wow. It's tough. It's like, it's also such a similar thing. Like, I think my work is just like a reflection of myself at the same time, and like where I'm at, what I'm experiencing. I would love for like my work myself to become more emotionally like aware, like sophisticated, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in a lot of ways I'm still trying to learn myself and my own emotions, and like really how to like handle them along with everything else that's going on. So I would just love for my work to just become more, just more emotionally like precise, so that I can like really communicate the things that I'm feeling, that I'm seeing, that I'm experiencing. And that's kind of like really what I'm striving for.
You will definitely get there. I see it in your future. You're getting there, and that's amazing.
Thank you.
And my very last question for you for today is, what advice would you give to other Black creators who have artistic freedom?
You said advice. What advice would I give? So just keep doing it. Like, honestly, a lot of times this is a hard journey, like being a filmmaker, being an artist in general. It's not an easy thing. So really just continue to strive for the excellence that we are, and never let anyone tell you that this is like not important, not necessary, because someone may not see it, may not understand it, and may never, what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, like art is a journey of self. And I think that whether others understand it or not, it should be something that one does for themselves. And yeah, I would just say continue to strive for excellence, and continue to do the work, and never let anyone really tell you no.
That's such great advice. That is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This concludes our interview for today. We want to thank you for sharing your art, your work, your passion with us. It was a pleasure being in your presence and just talking to you about this creative process. So again, thank you so much for being with us today.
Man, it was an honor. I'm glad to speak with you guys. So definitely.
Yes, we wish you the best in your future, creatively, all the cinematography, all of it. You're going to do great, big things. So thank you so much.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you, though.